All right, everybody, I'm gonna show you right now how to tune a 24-inch kick drum. Now, this is a ginormous drum. It's not as common, so we're gonna do a 24-inch and a 22-inch. Same general concept. With this, I have trouble getting the app to actually pick up the individual notes. So what I'm gonna do is do a little bit of a general approach and then show you specifically how you can use the app to get the right note. Basically, I'm gonna go for, on the top head, 50 hertz in the middle of the drum. And that's basically getting this above finger tight. Now I know that's general, but we're gonna get at least some specifics with you so you can get it there. So you can see like these lugs, they're just loose when they're finger tight, or when they're not finger tight. And basically what I'm gonna do is get all of them so like when I'm putting a little pressure on it, they're not moving at all. And I'll go around the whole head and do that. You know, loosen them all the way, get them, and you can see what I'm doing there, just barely flicking it. And I hate this because it's not exact, but it's hard to get the app to pick up these really low notes. One important thing to do is, for me, every time I sit down at a drum, I check all of the bass drum lugs, because these two down here by your kick pedal, they'll rattle out pretty much every time, every set you play. So I'll sit down a lot of times at church and 3 or 4 of the lugs will be completely detuned. And all you have to do is get a little bit of tension on them and it immediately improves the sound of the kick drum. So, I don't know if you can hear that. It's rumbly, it's pretty rattly, and when you press on it, there's wrinkle. And when we hit the middle, we're at 48 hertz. So what I'm gonna do is just bring these lugs up a little bit here and see if I can get it to 50. 49. Okay, we're at 50 there. So, it's general specifics. You're gonna be general around the outside, finger tension, but then measure the inside and see if you can get it to resonate at 50 hertz. That seems to be a pretty good amount of tension for me. So this is gonna be a little bit different than the other drums. What we're gonna do on this head is we're gonna try to get the outside lugs to resonate at about 60. That's gonna give us a decent note, nothing high, but it's gonna give us the actual note of the kick drum. Now, I've already got this tuned up. You've seen me do this process over and over again. But it's the same thing you do with every other drum. Start finger tight, you know, and then bring it up slowly. So I'll drop a couple of these down and you can see that's resonating at 48. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's going, It's not sounding great. You would hear that, believe it or not. It would affect the sound of the kick drum. And now I'm gonna bring these up a little bit. Okay, that's 55, 54. And you can hear that note start to get like a lot more pure. It's jumping at 85. And this can be a little bit tricky. This hole in your kick drum will mess with the resonance, but it's kind of one of those things you just have to fiddle with it. You can still get this side to resonate really close to what the rest of the drum is doing. So that's 61, 59, 59 there, 59, 92, that one's being a little bit weird. So we're pretty much at 60 all the way around. And you can hear that. Sounds great to me. There's enough of a note to it that it sounds good, but it's also gonna choke out too much resonance. So what we're going for, again, is a really just punchy, down the middle of the road kind of sound. I'm gonna set this up and put a mic on it and let you hear how it sounds. Okay, we've got this thing all set up and mic'd up. One important note to make is, when tuning your kick drum, you wanna put some muffling on the inside. So whether that's a blanket or a pillow, something like that, and you want to have the right amount of muffling. Some people will shove like a couple pillows in there and completely deaden both heads. And to me, that totally chokes out the sound of the kick drum. So what I like to do is take a smaller blanket and put it only against the front head to start with, the batter head, and leave that resonant head totally resonating for now. Let's see how that sounds. So to me, that's really punchy. It's got a ton of low end to it. And if it was ringing weird, I might grab the blanket and start to press it against the resonant head a little bit just to take some of that ring out. But I think it's great right now. Try that out if you have a 24-inch kick drum, and I hope you like it.